We got the Iberian Alchemist. She's a 6-inch move, 12, 2 range. Oh. Hello and welcome to Trench Talk. Today we will look at the Iron Sultanate rules and what makes them so special. It will be quite a long video, I think, because there are lots of units and lots of special rules. But we will go through them together, and I have done similar videos for the new Antioch and the Black Grail and the Red Brigade and such, so go back and check them out if you're more interested in them or you want to know about them all. And yeah, let's get into it. The Iron Sultanate. There's always a list about the ranged weapon and equipment everyone can have, but we will more focus about this, the special things, like the things that only the Iron Sultanate can have, like the Titan, Sulkafir, and stuff like that. So we will begin with the Sultanate special weapons, armor, and equipment. They got the Ysail, which is a two-handed 18 range with no modifier or keyword, and it's a pretty nice. Not a blunderbuss, but musket is the word I'm looking for. And nothing fancy about that. What does it cost? It costs 7 ducats, so plenty cheap. The Murad Bombard, which is a weapon that the bull can take. It's a one-handed 36 range heavy blast free. Blast free means that you have like a blast marker, which is 3 inches long and will hit everything in the blast. Specify a point on the battlefield within 36 inches, must be line of sight, that you want to target. Next, take a ranged attack action, 7 up on 2 dice. If the roll fails, you roll 6 or less, the bomb lands 1 inch away from its intended location, multiplied by the number representing the degree of failure. For example, if you rolled a 5, the bombard shot lands 2 inches away, as 7 minus 5 is 2. The direction is decided by your opponent. All models within 3 inches of the landing spot are hit as the bomb explodes. No roll to hit is needed. If the bomb lands directly on top of a model, roll with 3d6 on the injury chart and add the dice together and see what happens. That is brutal and might just kill about anything if you're lucky. Other models hit by the bombard suffer a down result as the booming shockwave, but do not incur any blood markers or other effects from this attack. So they just get downed no matter what happens, and if you're directly under it, you may roll on the injury chart. So you can't kill anything except the thing directly beneath. So yeah, it's only good to kill one thing, but it's really good at killing that, and the rest of them are downed, but doesn't gain any blood markers. Yeah, very cool, like crowd control piece in that way, that you get downed. Yeah. Flame cannon. One-handed, 12-inch heavy and fire. When shot in range combat, draw a straight line, 12-inch line that is 1 millimeter wide from the brazen bull. All models along the path of the line are hit. Roll for their injuries immediately. Armor does not protect them against the flame cannon due to the keyword fire. It hits cause an additional +1 blood marker. This is applied after rolling for injuries. Very, very good. I like flaming attacks and flamers overall in this game are, I think you need like 1 at least in each warband to combat the high armor units. And I just love the way the rules are described, that they explain the intent of things quite often. Titan Sultanate is a brazen bull only one-handed melee weapon that gives 2+ on the injury rolls when the keyword heavy and critical. So the Plutus means that like if you roll 7 on injury, it becomes a 9. Quite strong. We have got the halberd gun, which is a 2-handed melee and 24 inches range. It has assault and cumbersome. Enemies charging a model equipped with a halberd add -1 dice in melee combat rolling to hit. This only applies when a model attacks after a charge, not in the subsequent rounds of melee. And so it's like anti-charge. I guess it has like a bayonet or something. It's a halberd, so yeah. Stupid idiot. Yeah. Siege Gissale is a larger and heavier version of the normal one. It's 2-handed, it's range 30 and has +1 die to injury. It also keyword heavy. It's way more expensive though, I think. The Alaibozan, this design of the blunderbuss is based on the traditional side of the tribal warriors, but thoroughly modernized by the founders of the Sultanate. It's a 2-handed 12-inch range shrapnel. Ooh, cool! I love blunderbusses, especially in Warhammer Fantasy, with the Chaos Dwarf blunderbuss. And this is a good armor, the Alchemist armor. It counts as a reinforced and therefore grants +/-2 modifier to all injury rolls against it. All attacks with the keyword fire and gas suffer -1 dice penalty to injury roll. Additionally, this model does not suffer additional blood markers caused by the keyword fire and gas. Very strong. There are alchemical ammunition. Adds +1 die to the range attack rolls on the action success chart. Can only be used with Gissales, Alaibozan, halberd guns and siege Gissales. Cloak of Alamut. All range attack against a model that is in cover suffer -2 penalty instead of 1. All normal rules for cover apply otherwise. I think this is very good because it's quite easy to get into cover. So -2 penalty. Strong stuff. Wind Amulet. Once per battle you may add +3 to movement characteristics of this model once during the activation. Declare this when the model is activated. I feel like this can be very strong, like as your opponent cannot calculate your threat range when you're once per game adding it with +3. That also works when you dash. So you can have like an assassin or captain like go super far in a turn. And it's not that you use it up in a campaign. You have it like every game in the campaign, so I think it's good. And there is the marriage shovel. You can buy this enormous shovel and the brazen bull can use it. It has the keyword heavy and it works exactly like a normal shovel. It's fun. So disturbing. Let's look at the units. We begin with the elite, and we can begin with the captain. It costs 70 ducats. It's a 6-inch move with a +2 dice on ranged and melee. Super duper strong to begin with, and it has tough. And it has a special rule called the Mubarsun. It is expected to face the mightiest of their enemies in personal combat, inspiring the troops to victory with their personal prowess. They are immune to fear and add 1 dice to injury rolls against other tough units. It's like so good with strong melee to begin with, and +1 die to injure against tough. Tough himself, it's like you can go toe to toe with any demon. And we got the Iberian Alchemist, which is a 6-inch move, +2 dice in ranged and 1 in melee. It has the Master of Elements. At the beginning of a battle, all ranged and melee weapons that an alchemist can be equipped with may be assigned one of the following keywords: shrapnel, fire, or gas added to them. All the weapons the alchemist has will share the same keyword, with a risky action with +1 dice. The alchemist can change this keyword into one of the others. So they alter the elements so it can be as effective as possible against the opponent's units. It's pretty cool. The Sultanate Assassin, 85 ducats. 6-inch movement, +1 ranged and +2 in melee. It has the ability Time Slip. If any type of attack, melee, ranged, mine, etc., misses the assassin, they may slip into a moment in the future. The assassin can move into any occupied space within 6 inches, though they cannot be moved within 1 inch of any enemy model or leaving the gaming table. If moving out of melee this way, enemies do not get free attacks. That's like super cool and super strong. And if you get attacked and they miss, you can just move out. Don't attack me again, please. Temporal Assassin. After the assassin makes a charge roll, but before it moves toward its target, you may instead choose to have the assassin split itself through time, if it has not already taken a melee action in this activation. Choose up to 2 enemy models within the charging distance of the assassin, then place the assassin onto base contact with each enemy model, one after the other, like choo-choo. It may make a melee attack against each with one single melee weapon that it is equipped with. After the attacks and the resulting effect has been resolved, place the assassin at either location. The assassin cannot make any further melee attacks during this activation. This is very technical and flavorful, I think. And so he makes like a Naruto clone, but it's more like that he's so fast that he can attack both. I feel like shoo. But so if you kill one of them, but not the other, can you choose to go to the one that you killed? One after the other. After attacks have been resolved, please says in either location. Yeah, so you can like choose to stay at the like the opposite end. Say that you have a charge distance of 2 opposite ends. You can attack this one and this one, and you kill this one. You can choose to teleport here instead of here, so this one maybe doesn't reach you even with a charge. It's quite smart. Infiltrator. It also has the infiltrator keyword and can be placed anywhere on the table out of line of sight of any enemies, but at least 8 inches away from the closest. Deployed after all other models without keyword infiltrator. I feel like this is the most fun unit so far. 85 ducats, quite worth it, I'd say. They also have those who believe, and I love the artwork from this one, and with the rifle on the back. It's so cool. It costs only 25 ducats, so you can spam these. It has no penalty on range, but -1 in melee. They can be equipped with any weapon, armor, and equipment. They can be converted to skirmishers for the cost of 5 ducats, which makes them even more survivable. It even says what the skirmish rule does here. Yeah. Love them. And the Sultanate Sappers. They are highly respected and valued specialists in the Sultanate's army. Alright, they have 6-inch move, +1 dice in ranged, but none in melee. They are equipped with shovels. Their equipment can never be removed. They can be equipped with any weapon, armor, and equipment. Cool. So what do? They have the mine setting ability. As an action with +2 dice, they can mine a piece of terrain they alone are touching, no bigger than 8 times 8 inches, which is huge. If successful, the terrain piece is now mined. Any model, except the sapper who set the mine, who moves into contact with the terrain piece will trigger the mine. Roll an injury chart to see what happens. The mine has keyword shrapnel. After this, the terrain piece is no longer mined. This is so freaking cool. Like, I feel like the Iron Sultanate so far is one of the more flavorful factions. Not the mine. As a risky action, they can disable any mine they move into contact with. If they fail, the mine blows. Oh no. So, okay, so they got forward position. When sapper is set up during standard deployment, it can be placed up to 6 inches away from the player's deployment zone. If deployed in this way, it must be in contact with a piece of scenery. This ability cannot be used if playing a scenario that does not allow for infiltrators. So they can be like further ahead and set up mines. And they got fortify. During their activation, a sapper can take a risky action with +1 dice. If successful, the sapper is considered to be in cover until it moves. I love these guys. So cool. What do they cost? 50 ducats. And quite squishy. Not elite, yeah. And we got these monsters. 60 ducats, Lions of Yabir, 8-inch move, quite fast. Non-range and +1 dice in melee. You can have them on either not a square base, but yeah, I guess you can have a square base, but around 50 or on oval 60 times 30. They can be equipped with armor, but not shields, and wind amulets. Woo! So they can be real fast with 11-inch movement one time per turn, one time per game. They cannot be equipped with any other items. They do not suffer penalties for fighting unarmed. You can mount the lion on 2 different base sizes, yeah. You can upgrade a lion into a fierce lion at a cost of 5. They are not affected by the keyword fear. They have artificial body. Created through the Iberian alchemy, the lions have no vital organs, and they must be dismembered in order to kill them. All injury rolls against the lions are made with -1 dice. It's so disgusting that they have no organs. Like they're only 100% flesh. Like when you 3D print a model, it's 100% resin. Maulin. And a downed opponent cannot stand up if it is in melee combat with a Lion of Yabir, even if the line is down itself. Unless it is on a 40mm or larger base. This is... You don't understand how strong this is if you haven't played against it. That you cannot stand up if these guys are in melee combat. And combined with that cannon from Brazen Bull that makes everyone downed, and a few of these lions, you're not surviving. Like you're dead. You're dead. Lion's Grace. Lions of Yabir may take any dash, jump, climb, diving, charge action with +1 dice bonus. That's super good because dashing as a risky action, you fail it. I fail it all the time. Like some of my units never move because I want to begin the turn with dashing. So it's yeah, super good. You can have 0 to 6 Janissaries, and these are the elite warriors, and they are very cool models. 6-inch move, +1 dice in both melee and ranged. They have strong, and they have counter charge. If the first action a Janissary makes during their activation is a charge, they can add +1 dice to their subsequent melee attack actions. So yeah, they're quite strong if they charge then. But I'm not sure why it's called counter charge. Oh well. And then we have it, the Brazen Bull himself. 100 ducats. 6-inch move. No plus ranged, but +2 in melee. Due to its vast strength and size, it can only use weapons with the keyword heavy. It will simply crush the weapons of normal sizes by accident. It can carry up to 2 Brazen Bull weapons. So that is the Bombard, the Flame Cannon, and the Sword. Brazen Bulls are almost impervious to pain. They are subject to the rules for tough. They are strong, they have artificial body, and they have trample. Once during its activation, the Brazen Bull may take an extra melee attack action against a downed enemy model on 32 or smaller base. Resolve the attack as if the Brazen Bull were armed with a trench club. This attack ignores armor, as the Brazen Bull will stomp their enemies into a pulp. This is the same rule that the Amalgam for the Black Rail had. And it's just a nice free extra attack when someone is lying down, which they will be after fighting this guy. And it's terrifying and causes fear. Yeah, I like it. Quite expensive, quite good. So what different variants can we choose from? What sub-factions are there? The Fida al-Mut warband has the following special rules. Flock of Assassins. They can have up to 3. The warband must include a Master Assassin that counts as one of the 3. The Master Assassin is tough and costs 95 ducats. It can have up to 3 Asebs with the keyword Infiltrator at the cost of 10 ducats per model. They are the Assassin's Acolytes. That's cool. Alamut alone. The warband may not include any Yuzabi, Alchemists, Janisarius, Lions of Yabir, or Brazen Bulls. So they're mostly infantry and most of them are assassins. Killing Squad. Your warband may have a single fire team. These fire teams may consist of any 2 models from your warband. Models in the fire team gain the keyword fire team. This is super sweet, combined with having 2 assassins that can like double charge and double attack and all of that. Yes, it's not even a risky action, so having a killing squad is like so fun. Dervishes. The warband may include up to 4 dervishes, using Janisarius statistics including armor selection, but they cannot use reinforced armor. These troops have the Whirling Dervishes special rules, instead of having strong. Whirling Dervishes, the ritual dance of the dervishes is hypnotic to witness, and it is as graceful as it is deadly. All ranged attacks against dervishes suffer -1 penalty. They do not suffer the -- die for fighting with an offhand weapon. So you can kinda have Janissaries, but they don't have the strong. They are instead just super good at fighting with dual wield. Art of Assassination. Any assassin of the warband may buy one of these abilities at the cost of indicated below. They cannot be any duplicates in the warband, and you can only buy 1 for each assassin. So you got 3 of them, and they can buy these things. Hallucinogen Disguise for 20 ducats. An infiltrator with this ability can be deployed anywhere on the battlefield, including the enemy deployment zone, as long as the model is at least 8 inches away of enemy models. The model does not have to be out of line of sight. And binoculars or guard dogs have no effect on this ability. Wow, because it's disguised. Yeah. Yep. Thunderbolt of Alamut. The model has +2 movement and +1 dice on its dash. Like, combine this with the Wind of Amulet, that you have +5 in movement. They can be so fast. Mirage of Time, 15 ducats. Both ranged and melee attacks against assassins suffer -1 dice penalty when determining if they are hit. Nice. In secret paths, 10 ducats. At the start of the battle, right before the first model is set up, declare whether or not this model will be set up by using secret paths. A model using the secret paths is not set up on the battlefield at the start of the battle, and it may not be activated normally. Starting in the second turn, you may activate these models. These models. It's one model. Yeah. When you do, set up the model in contact with an edge of the battlefield more than 8 inches away from all enemy models. If both players have such models, the starting player declares whatever one of the models is deployed first. I don't understand this. Like, what's the point? It's like an infiltrator, but worse and cost money and only at the second turn. It's like worse than the disguise, but it's also cheaper. So yeah, let's move on. They can have the following exclusive armor and weapons: the Golden Kanyar, one-handed melee with +1 injury and 2 attacks. Had +1 in melee, blah blah. Yeah, it's very good to have making 2 attacks instead of 1. This effect also applies to golden wielded as a offhand, and you can buy 2 of them. Like, I feel like this warband is so OP, kinda. Like, you can have them as a fire team, 2 of them, dual wielding, doing 2 attacks with that split charge thing. You can just obliterate a New Antioch or like Trench Pilgrim team before they hit you back. Bow of Alamut, 50 ducats. Two-handed, 40 range, ignores armor and keyword critical. If an assassin hits a model and causes at least 1 blood marker, the assassin may instantly place itself into melee combat with that model. I love teleporting. The assassin is considered to have charged the model, although it does not count as a charge action, and therefore the assassin can take the move action at a later point in this turn, if it hasn't. Note that if the bow takes the target out of action, no blood markers are cast. This movement cannot be made. I'm speechless how cool this is. Fire 40 inches, hit, teleport, kill it, and then move out. You may you even charge because you haven't done any movement yet. No, it's not considered a charge. You can like shoot, hit something, then charge another, but you cannot fight again. But still, or maybe you can fight again if you also have that sword that makes you fight twice. You can fight twice with it. Hashashin Leaf. Before the battle begins, a model may use this item to gain the keyword strong. Cool. So that's it for the assassin sub-faction, and I like it a lot. I feel like I have to do it right now. Let's go! House of Wisdom. What do they have? I know for a fact that they have lots of homunculi shenanigans because I played against it. Alchemists. They can have 2 alchemists. This warband treats alchemist armor as if they had a limit of 2. Proud of Yabir, they can have up to 3 lines of Yabir. They may not include any Azebs, Janissaries, Yusabi, or assassins. They have Noble Guardian. The warband may include up to 2 Faris, Noble Warriors, sworn to protect the House of Wisdom. They use the Janissary stats by have the keyword Elite and Strong. Kavas. Kavas are strong, sworn guardians of the House of Wisdom. They use Azeb stats, but can't use the keyword Skirmishers. Instead, set up a free Kavas and increase the melee accuracy by +1 dice. at the cost of 5 ducats per model. Weapon collections. When you create this warband, choose 2 weapons. These weapons must be found at either the armories of New Antioch or Trench Pilgrim. These weapons must not already be present in the Iron Sultanate armory. Your warband may acquire one of them, one from New Antioch and one from Trench Pilgrim, following all of the same limitations and costs of the original lists. Only one weapon can be picked from that list. So you can get like off-limit weapons, like a sniper rifle and such. Quite good. Secrets of the House of Wisdom. Any alchemist of the warband may buy any of these abilities. You cannot have duplicates. Medicine. 15 ducats. The alchemist is a student of the School of Medicine. The model is equipped with tools for healing. The alchemist can take an action with +1 dice to remove up to 2 blood markers or a single infection marker from a friendly model within 1 inch ranged. Or allow a model that is down to regain their footing. This training and these tools are an improvement upon the standard medikit. And they can therefore not carry a medikit. Cartography and geometry. Plus 20 ducats. They have stunned long and hard. At the beginning of each battle, immediately before any models are deployed, up to 2 models in your warband gain the keyword Infiltrator. This ability cannot affect an alchemist or a model with a base larger than 32. In addition, the warband may reroll an exploration die, which you do at the end of a game in a campaign. Secrets of Tenquin, 20 ducats. The alchemist has bound their Tenquin creatures to themselves with unbreakable bonds. If the alchemist is hit by an attack while 1 inch of their homunculus, they may redirect the hit to the homunculi instead. Determine the injuries and additional effect exactly as if the weapon hit homunculi. Chemistry and alchemy, 25 ducats. Before the battle starts, but after all the models, including infiltrators, are deployed, you may place a rectangular elemental obstacle 2 inch wide and 6 inch long. It counts as difficult and dangerous, and damage it causes has the keyword fire, gas and shrapnel. Choose when the obstacle is placed. It cannot be placed within 6 inch of any model on top of any other terrain. That's pretty cool to play and place terrain. Philosophy, poetry, theology, 20 ducats. The alchemist is well versed in the hidden truths of the universe and the divine, and has a calm and clear mind. The warband gains +1 dice to all moral rolls and cannot become shaken. And the alchemist plus another model of their voice is immune to fear. And here we go with the goddamn Tarquin creatures. You can bring 1 Tarquin creature for each alchemist in your warband. Each Tarquin creature must be associated with an alchemist in your warband. If a Tarquin creature's associated alchemist is killed, that Tarquin creature cannot be fielded. Its equipment cannot be changed, and no alchemical formulae may be applied to it. When you acquire a new alchemist, if you have any unallocated Tarquin creature, you must allocate a new alchemist with 1 of your unallocated Tarquin creatures. Instead of using glory, you may buy them with the ducats, indicated as the list below. 40 ducats for one of these, which can take a hit for your alchemist, as we said earlier. They have 6 inch movement and no penalty or plus on dice. They can be equipped with any weapon, armor or equipment, and they fight in melee without any penalty. They have the ability Recreation. If the homunculi is taken out of action, it is deemed to have been killed. You do not have to remove it from your roster. Instead, you can spend 40 ducats to bring it back to life with all the weapons and abilities. This is just so good. And it also has the artificial body with -1 dice to hit. Injury. -1 dice to injury. Alchemical formulae. You can buy any of these alchemical formulae for your homunculus, either during its creation or later during any post-battle sequence, as long as you pay the price. Once they are bought, they are permanent. You can never have more than 1 of the same type applied to a single creature. So you can buy different, you can build your own Pokemon here. You can buy wings, which makes it 8-inch flying for 30 ducats. Elemental resistance for 40. They do not suffer additional blood markers from attacks with fire and gas. And it -1 dice penalty to injure it if it has the keyword fire and gas. Massive size for 30 ducats. It has a 50mm base and gains the keyword tough. It cannot be combined with wings. Enslaved Mind for 10 ducats. They gain the fire team keyword along with a model of your choice. The other model can only form a fire team with this homunculi, not with any other models. So you cannot have a assassin fire team combined with the enslaved mind homunculi. Human hands. 10 ducats. The homunculi can buy and wield any weapon allowed for the normal warband and House of Wisdom list, though they cannot select elite only items. Grenade are items limited to specific items such as assassin. They can also carry a trench shield or fire shield. This will apply to the additional arms formula as well. Cannot be combined with a wings formula. Inhuman strength. The musculature of the homunculi seems reinforced. It has a base size of 32 or 50 if it also is massive. The homunculi gains +1 die and keyword strong. Terrifying appearance. For 10 ducats it causes fear. Additional arm, 15 ducats. The homunculi can perform an additional attack action in melee or ranged combat without any penalty. Therefore, if making attacks with 3 melee weapons, only a single weapon would need to be declared as offhand. It has 3 hands to carry weapons. If combined with human hands, it may be equipped with shield and weapon in any combination, as long as it has a free hand to do so. In this case, the homunculi can make up to 2 ranged attack actions and up to 3 melee actions, or 1 melee action with 2-handed weapon and 1 melee action with a 1-handed weapon. Yeah, it just specifies in different combination of ranged and melee weapons. It can have 2 heads and for 5 ducats. The homunculi have 2 heads and therefore can have 2 sets of eyes. Hypnotic eyes. 15 ducats. Enemies suffer -1 dice to hit in melee. Does not affect Sniper Priest or enemies with the black rail. I love that it doesn't affect Sniper Priest because the Sniper Priest is blind and cannot be hypnotized. And you can also buy Hawkeye for 10 ducats. It's based on that of a predatory bird. It can add +1 dice in its ranged attack characteristics. Cannot be combined with hypnotic eyes without having 2 heads. Startling speed, 10 ducats. The homunculi gets +1 dice in dash action. Seal of Solomon, 10 ducats. This formula greatly enhances the intelligence of the homunculi and makes it painfully aware of its artificial existence. It can now buy and use equipment from the Sultanate warband, as long as it's not limited to elite. Note that 1 helmet protects homunculi with 2 heads normally, and the 2 heads formula does not allow the purchase of 2 different headgear. Like these rules, I love that he wrote one of them, and then when he wrote another, he was like, oh fuck, if it has 2 heads, it has 4 eyes, but it's too good to, we have to come up with a negative somehow, and it's just rule upon rule upon rule as they write themselves, kinda. And yeah, it's just fun. I love it. But it's quite a lot to read at once here. Gargantuan size, not to be confused with massive size. Gargantuan size can only be bought if the homunculi already has human hands, inhuman strength, and massive size. The homunculi can now has a base size of 60, and can now use one of the brazen bull weapons, like the sword. That I like it. Regenerative tissue, 25 ducats. The homunculi has an astonishing healing factor. It can remove 1 blood marker every time it's activated, if it has any. Okay, we have to look at this now. We're gonna buy the Gargantuan, which is 20. That's 10. So 30 plus 30, 60. And we want the inhuman strength. So we're up to 75. It costs 40. So that's 125. And if we want to buy the sword, it costs 30. So for 200 ducats, you can get a big ass homunculi that wields the bull sword. I do think that it's more expensive than it is good, but very cool. I implore you, everyone, to do it. And the special armory for this sub-faction is the Elixir of Al-Qadir for 10 ducats. It can have tough for a duration of a single battle. It's a consumable. Very good consumable though. And a fire shield, 20 ducats. Always takes 1 hand to use in both melee and ranged weapons. Grants -1 to all injury rolls against the model. This bonus stacks with any armor the model wears. Any attack against this model that has a keyword fire will suffer -1 to injury and not cause an additional blood marker. Okie dokie. That's Iron Sultanate for you. You can just use vanilla or go with the assassins, which I feel like is super fun and cool. Or you can build your own Pokemons and just have monsters. I feel like both sub-factions is more fun than playing the vanilla one, but yeah, quite strong rules. Strong and fun rules. I love the Sultanate. And that's it for this week's episode. Check out the earlier ones if you want. And please do subscribe, because we're still 300 away from reaching our goal. And when we reach it, we can start selling the t-shirts here on the YouTube channel. That would be fun. So